This webinar is regarding the winter break house closing procedures for chapter officers to prepare your members and your chapter for your chapter facility to be closed during this time frame. So when is your house closed? Generally, we operate off of the idea that your house closes on the Saturday following finals in December. And then it will open on on the Friday prior to classes opening in the spring. You will see the exact dates on the next slide and listed in the move-in and break communication. On the screen lists the specific dates for your chapter facility when it is closed and opened between semesters. Your house fully closes during this time, and that does mean all members are not to reside in the property during this. That does not mean they have to fully remove their belongings from their room. That just means they need to pack their suitcase and temporarily occupy another space while the house is closed. So what should they be doing in their individual spaces? We have recorded a webinar sent to all members of the chapter facility of items specifically for them that is recaps, cleaning their space, taking vitals such as medicine, money, a passport or ID, as well as keys with them. This is critical and important because the house will be completely closed and no one will be allowed to enter the chapter facility during winter break. It is important as an officer that you hit home with your members on this subject. Further, they need to be taking trash out of their room and into the dumpster. While the house is empty and reduced occupancy, that often encourages pests to want to find home in your spaces. Leaving trash only entices them. So please remove those as much possible. That includes food or individual waste. Of course, they should be locking their windows, shutting blinds, turning off lights, and locking their rooms behind them. Members should be aware that RPG and its affiliates may be entering their rooms over the break for either cleaning, maintenance, or inspection. As a house manager or chapter president, you do have some obligations and responsibilities to help communicate to your members about winter break. By that, you should be holding a house meeting. During this house meeting, your agenda should include reviewing over what they needed to be doing in their individual rooms that we just went over, reminding them that the house will be completely closed and they will not have any access over break. You should be sharing the break occupancy request form and highlighting if they have any occupancy needs to complete that for review by RPG. You should be submitting any work orders for things that are necessary that you have since found are broken. We would love to get any and all items fixed and maintained over the break, so please submit those so we can conduct repairs. You very much should be discussing and scheduling a house cleanout day. That it would review over common areas such as kitchens, laundry rooms, chapter rooms, lounges, or exec rooms. These are common areas shared by all members of the property. Many hands make light work. So if you schedule this at the early half of finals week, and it could be a great break for members. Delegate and assign. It is critical. Do not assume your members will just do this. RPG will be going through these spaces in an inspection and help assign or trash out anything that is identified as personal items left behind or junk. With that, you might establish a lost and found location where you can move any of the miscellaneous items found during the cleanout days so that members have one central spot to find them. You as a chapter should be considering quiet hours. You are welcome to set this however you choose or wherever you choose in the house. It's often helpful that members know a designated space and time will be available for them to have a study space that is quiet with minimal distractions. Lastly, you should be confirming who is fully moving out at the end of the fall semester and who is moving in. You should be checking your leasing tracker and verifying with RPG that it is accurate as to who is moving out and moving in, as well as communicating if there are any individuals wanting to move rooms. The chapter president and the house manager must be the last to leave the chapter property upon break closing. While we will not verify if you truly are, you will very much find things will go awry and the house will be left a mess if you don't verify as one of the last people to leave. You're strongly, strongly encouraged to make that a priority to check the house right on closing day. House managers and presidents will be sent a break preparations checklist. It's a simple Google form that you will verify things that have been completed at the house, such as trash being removed out of the property, that you've closed and locked all windows in common areas, that your exterior doors are fully secured and locked. You will make sure that all the exterior lights have been turned on at the house and that the heat is present. While members will want to save on utilities, it'll be critical that these items have been completed so your house is left in the best condition as possible upon your return from winter break. Further, this form will ask for 2 local contacts. That may be you as house manager or president. That may be other members of your chapter who either live in or live out. These are people who RPG can contact that will be within a 30-minute to an hour radius of your chapter property that we can call in case of emergency. Someone that might be able to travel on a minute's notice for urgent assistance at your house. We will not be verifying if you completed these items. However, if you do not complete the checklist, you could be liable for additional bill backs by not completing the checklist. This is due on the house closing date, as well as why you should be completing and at the house on move out date or closing date. As I said previously, you need to verify the utilities are on, but also think about ways to reduce your utilities. Consider turning off lights, except for those on the exterior of the house. Again, closing and locking all windows to keep heat inside and cold out. Setting your thermostats to 68 degrees. You do not want a frozen pipe, and that could cause severe damage to your property during this time. Consider unplugging appliances such as mini fridges throughout the house, encouraging members to do the same. If they do unplug these items, they should open and prop the door to the fridge open and provide a towel to gather moisture. Closed space, dark space with moisture will encourage mildew growth. They don't want to return to that when they move back in for winter break. Your house should be removing all window AC units if it's permitted. Window AC units are only permitted at properties that do not have central HVAC, as well as you should be keeping all kitchen or bathroom cabinetry open to allow airflow for the pipes that are with sinks. All of this is to reduce the utility usage and ensure things are maintained while you're away. So what if you have a member that needs to stay over winter break? They may submit a break occupancy request form. This is applicable for if they need to leave late after closing date, if they need to arrive prior or earlier to break opening. Maybe they're participating in a winter or J term. Maybe they need to work locally. Whatever their reason may be, they can submit the request for the break occupancy form, which can be found on our website under the Resources and Forms tab. This is also provided in the winter break communication we have sent out. Do note there is a $100 a day rent charge for individuals wanting to stay at the property. A good pro tip is that you might add the link for this form into a house group text or page. This opportunity is only for live-in members and not live-outs. We will not accept any submissions for this after your house closes for break. So what should you be expecting from RPG during this time? We'll be sending out communication via email to all of the live-in occupants about the winter break closing procedures. We will have vendors present at your house throughout break for repairs, cleaning, and/or inspections. RPG team will be visiting properties to conduct inspections of individual rooms and common areas. We will be removing any individuals who have stayed when they are not approved or billing them for such. We will also send reminders that spring rent and utilities are still due on January 1st, even while you are on winter break. It's important maybe you remind your members that as well to avoid late fees. And then we will also send direct, specific communication to the members who are fully moving out at the end of the fall semester and those who are moving into your houses for spring semester. So let's talk about that more specifically. If you have a member who is only living in your house for the fall and moving out at the end, they will be emailed a full list of instructions of what they need to complete. They will need to be completely moved out of the house and all of their belongings removed by the break closing date. Our PG team will conduct a move out inspection and assess any damage or cleaning fees upon that inspection. They will be emailed their charges, if any, in January and will allow 30 days to appeal charges. If they're no longer moving out like they thought they may be, they should be contacting RPG immediately. You should check your leasing tracker for those who are listed as fall only under the term for who this is applicable to. While you may also have spring occupants who are hoping to move into the chapter facility. They will also be emailed a full set of instructions for move-in, including prompting them to complete a room inspection form. Note, spring move-ins cannot and will not be able to move into their space or into the house at all until the house opens for spring break. They should not be leaving their items in the room they are going to be moving into before they leave for break or before the house opens. They will be billed for items being stored at the house that are not approved if they do such. What if you have someone new that you would like to move into your chapter house? Officers should be adding their name and contact information on their leasing tracker or on your chapter leasing tracker, and RPG will send them a sublease to sign before moving in. No individuals will be able to move into the property unless they have fully signed a lease. You should be adding those names to the leasing tracker by December 10th in order for RPG to be able to process and send leases to them. But what if you have a member who is unexpectedly moving out? Maybe they're no longer returning to school in the spring semester. It is important once you are aware of that, you should notify RPG immediately. Your chapter may need to evaluate if they will be released from their lease or not. So they should submit the chapter house sublease request for chapter approval. RPG will not automatically grant them a release from their spring term, even if they are not returning to school. It'll be upon the chapter to review and approve, as there could be financial consequences as a result. To be familiar upon who are moving in the spring, you should be checking your leasing tracker for the spring only listed under the term for tenants. Few other things to keep in mind over winter break and in preparation. RPG will conduct the semesterly utility audit where we will gather all utility billings and calculate the actual usage compared to the projected billed usage. RPG will issue a credit or a charge for the difference. This will take place during the January month. Further, if you have any members who are currently residing in the house and are remaining in the house, but wish to move rooms throughout to a different space, they must be approved by RPG prior to moving. They simply cannot just move rooms. They will need to submit the room transfer addendum, which acknowledges a $150 room transfer fee. If you have any further questions, please contact RPG. Our offices may be closed for part of the winter break holiday. Thank you.